Hi, and welcome to the Fox 18 Sports Sunday Show. I'm Dustin Owen. I'm here with the state champs, Newman Comets. Congratulations on the win. I even got my Newman Comet blue on today. What do you guys think?
I like it. Looks good.
There you go. Thank you. All right, first question. How's it feel to be state champs?
It's a great excitement. We're all just happy for the great hard work we put into the season and just paid off at the end.
And then talk about last couple of days must have been a whirlwind for you guys. I mean, you win a state championship, all the celebration that comes along with it. What's it been like after winning the state championship? What's the last couple of days been like?
Well, I think having the state championship around Thanksgiving, obviously Thanksgiving is all about family, and that's what we're about too, is family. So just being able to be around with each other and also getting support from all of our families, it really means a lot to just win the state, but then have everyone around with us.
And then talk about what it was like to play past Thanksgiving, because, I mean, that's everybody's goal, to play past Thanksgiving.
It was really special knowing that we could go far in the season, and there's only 16 teams in the state that get to play in that state championship, and it meant a lot to be one of them.
And, Coach, what's it like to coach all these great young boys out here?
I'm blessed. Again, they make the job easy. Yeah, they might drive me and the coaches nuts every once in a while, but that's high school sports and that's teenage boys. But to be able to coach at a school like Newman and be able to coach these young men means the world to me.
And you're doing a great job, Coach. And then talk about, this is your first year. Talk about being in your first year and then winning a state title as a first-year head coach.
It's very humbling, and again, not taking it for granted. I've had a lot of coaches in my life that probably deserve a state championship, and they never were able to coach in a state championship game, or let alone win it. And to do it in my first year, like I said, not taking it for granted. I'm blessed, and again, there's a lot of coaches that probably wish they could be in my shoes, but for me to be able to get it done in my first year, but more importantly get it done for these kids, means the world to me.
And sticking with you one more time, Coach, you took over after a great coach, Coach Proposy. What's it been like to have him kind of as a mentor, and what has he kind of helped you with taking over as head coach, and what has he told you throughout the season to encourage you?
Again, Coach Proposy, he was a great coach, and he's just a great man. He was always there. He told me from the start, this is your program, I'm going to back off, but if you have any questions, just ask. And again, having him as a mentor meant a lot to me, but he just told me, just stay calm. Whatever you show the kids, that's how they're going to feel. So early in the year, I was always nervous and worried. He's like, you can't show it. And he was always there just allowing me to ask questions, and we were lucky enough to have him up in the booth for all our games, and he just was always that voice in your ear, just say, relax, just stay calm, and just continue to do what you're doing.
And then what's it like having Coach here? I mean, he's been your guys' defensive coordinator for the past 6 years. Now he's your head coach. What's it been like having him as a head coach?
It was a really smooth transition. I think he knew what to do with whatever Coach Proposy's foundation laid for him, and there wasn't really much of a blip besides a new face as head coach.
And then, Connor, talk about the game. I mean, you had 3 touchdowns in the game. Talk about your performance.
Really, I think the credit goes to just everyone else on the team. Obviously, the line blocked really well. Scout team did a really nice job of preparing everyone during practice, giving us a good look offense and defensively, so that we were able to find some holes or weaknesses that we feel like we could take advantage of.
And then you guys went into halftime 21-7. Talk about what you guys talked about at halftime, that you knew you had to take control of the second half to get the victory.
Yeah, we felt great that we were up, but Coach always told us 0-0, and we knew they came back a couple weeks ago, and we just had to stay focused and disciplined all game.
And then just talk about the experience, this whole process of going through. I mean, you've talked about all year about playing for past teams. Talk about, that motivation going in, playing this year, and then winning a state title.
One of the big things, like I said earlier, is our family. We always play that's one of the traditions of Newman, is just the family aspect of it and the relationships you have with the past and the future generations. And I think looking back, we played for those teams that couldn't quite make it, but then it's also for the teams that are soon to come. Hopefully they can have some motivation to put in the hard work to have a nice outcome like we did.
And then talk about, now you get a chance to put your name up with all those great teams of Newman. How does that feel?
It feels really nice being able to know that whenever we come back to Newman, we can see our trophy up in the trophy case, and every year they're going to talk about us still, and be a part of that team is really special.
And what's, Coach, talk to me about what you told the guys going into the state championship game. What was your message to them?
That it was just another game. The field was still the same size. Might have been a bigger stadium, but the next game is the most important game, and the next team we play is going to be the best team we play. And Nashville was that. They were a really good team. So just so we kept doing what we were doing in every other game this year, and just stay locked in and do what you're supposed to do, and give 100% effort, and everything else will take care of itself.
And then talk about, when you get to the state championship, every team's good. And the team you guys played with, Nashville, was really good. Talk about, your opponent there, and, that's a great challenge. Championship teams want to step up to the challenge, and you guys definitely did that. Talk about, how proud of you these guys that stepped up to that challenge.
Again, for them to play like they did on Friday, Nashville was a great team, especially offensively. They were averaging like 45, 50 points a game, and their defense was very stout. Their front seven was very big and aggressive. So for us to hold them to 14 points, that speaks volumes of these kids. We might have gave up quite a few yards, but I always tell them, bend but don't break, and we got a lot of, we got 4 turnovers. 3 of them we were able to capitalize in the points, and that's football 101 and Blue Machine football. Capitalize off the other team's mistakes, but again, we forced those mistakes. So defensively, we played really well. Offensively, first drive was Blue Machine football. We ground and pounded it, but then we saw they were stacking the box, and Coach Neiman did a great job of seeing that and called a couple play action passes that the kids executed well, and obviously worked out for us.
All right, we're going to take a break, but don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with the Newman comments right here on the Fox 18 Sports Sunday Show.